Welcome, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, to your general weekly tarot reading for January 13th through January 19th. Of course, dates are approximate and are flexible. This may resonate with you whenever you view it, or it may not resonate at all since it's general. So just take anything that resonates with you and leave the rest for someone else. And remember, never put anyone else's judgment above your own. And while we're doing the card selection, I just want to share with you messages from your pre-tarot meditation. And there are several different messages here, so I'm sure that not every message will apply to each of you. In fact, I really hope the first one does not, because I got the feeling that someone out there is grieving the loss of a father, and if that is you, I'm my sincerest condolences. But he wants you to know that he's never been better. He's always with you and always accessible to you. And that if you think you sense him or that you see signs of him, know that you do. You know, don't second guess it. And he wants you to know that you can talk to him even out loud if you want to. And that yes, he's always there with you and you always have access to him. Also, another message, some of you may have had a disagreement with someone and you feel you were misunderstood. And if so, you might want to, from a place of alignment, from a place of positive energy, just calmly take the time to kind of like fully and clearly explain yourself. Another message is that someone around you might have bad habits that are getting on your nerves. But if you can find the high vibration that will allow you to kind of like reach the point where those habits no longer annoy you, the better you will become at not feeling annoyed, if that makes sense. So in other words, it's like a muscle, like working out a muscle. It needs repetition and focus. So if you can, let's say, find the positive aspects about this person, find things to appreciate in this person, raise your vibration related to this person, and kind of laugh at the fact that his or her habits annoy you. And try to get in as high a vibration as possible so that these habits do not annoy you. You'll get better at it. You know, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And it's not for their sake, it's for yours. It's for the sake of your vibration and your level of energetic attraction. It's basically so you can feel better. It's not for that person, right? And also, the better you feel about that person, the better you will attract from that person. Okay, so let's get the overall energy from the major arcana. So yeah, what we have here is from the minor arcana, the physical realm, the mental realm in the middle, and the spiritual realm to the right. And then from the major arcana, we want the overall energy, which we have here. And I also want to just mention that I hope there was no confusion for those of you who are returning or who are subscribers, but I did recently have an experience that inspired me to change the name of this channel to High Priestess Influence. So again, hope there was no confusion with the channel name. And also, I have discovered that YouTube seems to be like auto spamming quite a few of the comments that some of you are making. And I mean, other than the fact that I was able to see them, but they're not on the, you know, they're not listed on the, under the video. So, and I didn't know this was going on. So I just came across them and figured that out. But I don't know why, because yes, while some of them are obviously spam, they're like advertisements or something, some of them are very nice, supportive comments, and I feel like really bad that they're not posted, and that it appears that I just ignored your comments, and I really did not. And then I was looking for a setting to see if I can change that, and I'm really not that savvy when it comes to these kinds of things, and so far I have not been able to find a setting. So if that applies to you, I do apologize. And but please continue to comment if you feel so inclined, and hopefully they won't be designated as spam. I mean, not all of them are, but many are. So anyway, okay, let's get to the cards. Sorry for getting off track there. Alrighty, here, let's take a look. This is your physical realm here. Actually, wow, you have a lot of cards in the physical realm. I didn't, oh my goodness, wow. I actually don't normally take this many cards, but they're here for a reason, and I took them for a reason, so let's unpack them. You have the Two of Pentacles reversed, followed by the Eight of Swords, followed by the Six of Cups, followed by the Three of Wands reversed, followed by the Knight of Swords reversed, followed by the Page of Wands upright. This may end up to be a progression of your experiences throughout the week, and could be kind of specific because of the number of cards, but you know what? You never know. Let's talk it out and see what's going on. First and foremost, you know what? You might feel overwhelmed this week. You might feel a little too busy. Nothing horrendous, nothing awful, but you're just feeling a little busy and maybe having trouble handling things, maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed. And, your self-limiting beliefs are not helping the matter here, my Aries friends. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, it is natural and common to kind of go with that vibration and keep it going by feeling like you can't handle it, by feeling like you're not up to it. Again, feeling trapped. I think you might feel a little trapped, a little stuck, like things are not in your control, but they are. Okay? This is the Eight of Swords. So this figure has the power to remove herself from this situation. Those bindings are loose. Those swords are by no means imprisonment. And there is a refuge of a castle behind her. So really, the universe wants you to know that your feelings of kind of like being stuck in this overwhelming situation is a doing of your own vibration, my Aries friends, okay? That you can turn this around. You can release yourself, okay? So you have the Six of Cups here. It may be for some of you that your overwhelmment has a lot to do with the caretaking of relatives, maybe children. It doesn't have to be children, but for some of you it is children. For some of you it could be aging parents. And these are people you love and care about. These are people you want to care about, that you do care about. It's not like these people are necessarily taking advantage of you or anything like that. It's just that it may be their needs that are adding to the feeling of overwhelmment here. And you know what? The expression "you can't see your way clear" comes to mind. You can't see your way clear. With the Three of Wands reversed here, it's not something I've ever thought of before with the Three of Wands reversed, but that I do read intuitively, so that's what came to me. You can't see your way clear. In other words, it kind of goes back to the Eight of Swords with the self-limiting beliefs, like kind of keeping yourself back, holding yourself in this place of overwhelmment, right? it's kind of like you don't know how to get yourself out of this and get like a new vibration started. Yeah, you really don't know what action to take or what direction you should go in. You really don't know how to like kind of I don't know, like create a new vibration around this whole thing. So you also have the Knight of Swords reversed. Now, it is possible, my friends, that this is an air sign, but it's not necessarily an air sign. It could be a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, but not necessarily. But what I do feel about this person is that there is someone in your vicinity, maybe rushing around you and being of no help to you, or, okay, for some of you, this is you. Like, I got the feeling running around like a chicken with your head cut off. All right, so if it's you, that expression applies to you. Like you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, feeling overwhelmed in all sorts of different directions. But for some of you, it is possible that it could be, let's say, a partner or a spouse who is also really busy, running around and really like not helping. Or someone in your vicinity might be like almost like I got the sense of like a tornado running around, like home long enough to make a mess, but not long enough to clean it up kind of thing, if that makes sense. Okay? So now, beneath that, you have the Page of Wands. Now, this could be a fire sign. It could be an Aries, a Leo, or a Sag, another Aries, Leo, or Sag. But I actually feel as though this is you, Aries. This is you. And maybe it's after listening to this reading and recognizing your overwhelmment, but I feel like you are able to pull yourself out of this. You're able to raise your vibration and kind of like get started in a new direction with a new vibration. And when I say new direction, I really feel like it's a vibrational direction, like gaining a better understanding. And for some of you, it may take going through all of these energies this week to reach this point of realization. But for others, it may just be that this message will be enough for you to like get out ahead of the chaos. This may be the result of getting out ahead of the chaos, and it may happen sooner than later if you are deliberate about your focus, about your vibration, if you can avoid the knee-jerk reactions, then you need not go through that extent of overwhelmment. So I do like that this Page of Wands upright showed up at the bottom of this pile, because I really don't feel like this is someone else. I feel like this is you. This is you tapping into the right energy. Tapping into the right energy. Love it. Okay, that is great. I'm going to leave him sticking out there because, I mean, I really feel like you don't even need to necessarily go through all of this, Aries. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And you know what? With the Tower reversed here, normally I would say you're resisting, like, I shouldn't even say what I would normally say, because I should say what just came to me intuitively. But since I started the sentence, normally I would say this is you resisting the necessary change, and the universe is like forcing you into it, but you're resisting it. You're not going with it. But no, I feel like this is you getting out ahead of and preventing a shakeup, preventing being like thrown out of the tower, preventing all of that overwhelmment and that upheaval. I just got the feeling of a chaotic household here. And it is the Tower, so it's like, it's like a home here. I just got the feeling that you can get out ahead of this and head off this chaotic potential. The potential is there as the energies stand. But, wow, I think we should put you on top, Page of Wands, because you're going to supersede, if that's the right word, all of this chaos and take over before it gets out of hand. Wow, Aries, that's really great. And you know what? Your mindset here is wonderful. The Ace of Swords, I feel like you've got some new information here, and now you're going to run with it. You've got some new understanding, and you're going to run with it. And I think the experience is going to have long-term effects, long-term potential. You have the potential for mastering the experience of overwhelmment and chaos. And okay, let me try to explain that. So what I'm seeing here for you, Aries, is that the experience of being able to get out ahead of it with this Page of Wands energy and focus your energy in a new direction. Start, in a sense, a new journey in an emotional, spiritual sense. Getting out ahead of that energy is giving you this Ace of Swords. It's like giving you the weapon to cut through everything moving forward in such a way that you're able to master this vibration so that the next time you start to sense overwhelmment, start to sense chaos around you, that you will be able to tap into this energy again and get out ahead of it. So that's where the long-term potential comes in, and the mastery of it here. Like looking at the crown, I feel like you will master this energy just based on this experience. And the truth is, Aries, once you learn something, you can't unlearn it. Once you understand something, you can't ununderstand it. And that's the second time I said that today. Ununderstand it. I've never said that before in my life, and I said it twice today. So now I have a new word. So in other words, your vibration it will. You're human. You came here for the human experience, and that involves contrast for the purpose of expansion, right? You will find yourself experiencing contrast again, but it doesn't need to get out of control before you can see the value in it. And that's what's going on here. You are learning to see the value in the contrast, and you are learning to recognize that value sooner. And you're learning that in recognizing the value sooner, you prevent it from escalating and becoming chaotic, my Aries friends. Wow, powerful, powerful stuff. So you also only had one card jump out in the spiritual realm here, and you have the Ten of Swords reversed. And this is the universe basically acknowledging that you will no longer let things devastate you. You will no longer let things escalate to the point where you feel as if you've reached the point of no return, as if you feel as though you can't turn it around. And remember, the 10 energy here is also the 1 energy, because 1 plus 0 reduces to 1. New beginnings, fresh starts. So even if this were upright, this would be something that was past, that was done. But it's not. It's reversed. And it's reversed here because the universe is telling you that you will no longer experience contrast to the point of feeling this devastated, this traumatized, or this betrayed. Because you will be able to tap into the expansion, the level of expansion you have reached at this point. Again, Aries, there will sometimes be that one step back, right? So sometimes you take more than 2 steps forward, but just for sake of explanation, right? You expand and you take 2 steps forward. And then, contrast hits, you take one small temporary step backwards, but then you recognize it before you take another step and you feel steady where you are. You feel a firm foundation beneath you. And then you're able to take another couple of steps forward. And then eventually, contrast hits again. You take that little step backwards. But again, you're never going all the way back where you were. You are always expanding. You are always expanding. And sometimes we reach what appears to be like plateaus where we're not regressing, but we don't recognize the expansion because it might be minimal and minuscule. But then we experience that expansion again. So Aries, you can never go back. And if you can get out ahead of it this week, if you can recognize, you know what? The 2 of Pentacles reversed. Here's a little, maybe a visual that you can take with you. If you can recognize the 2 of Pentacles upright, where, you know what, you're juggling things and you're doing fine. Yeah, you might have a lot on your plate, but you're handling it. But if you can recognize that you want to focus on all the positives that you can, and how well you are juggling things before it begins to turn into a more difficult time of juggling things and a feeling of being a little bit more overwhelmed before that starts to happen. If you can do that, if you can imagine it that way, it might make it easier for you to get out ahead of it. So when you can recognize that you're handling more than one thing at a time, and you can sense that it might turn into overwhelmment, that's the time to do whatever it takes for you to get into alignment, whether it is, sitting down and putting your feet up for a few minutes, meditating, doing something for yourself that you love, that makes you feel good. Because when you are in alignment, you have more time. When you are truly in alignment, time is not a factor. When I am feeling great and I'm just in a high vibration, sometimes I turn around and look at the clock and I think, wow, I accomplished so much in such a short amount of time. How could I have done that? And it's because time is something, it's something, and I can't really even in my human experience understand it to the full extent. But what I do understand is time is not what we think it is, or it's not even real. It's a human construct, and it is what you think it is, just like everything else. It is what we think it is. So if we think we don't have enough time, we don't have enough time. And when we're in alignment and we're not even considering the time, and we're just, moving along merrily along our way, doing our thing, finding appreciation wherever we go, time is not a factor. So my Aries friends, general reading that might not resonate with everyone. If not, check out your moon and rising sign messages. But I do want to thank you so very much for being with me. If you feel so inclined, you can support this channel by clicking like and subscribing if you haven't done so already. But again, thanks for being with me, my beautiful Aries friends, and I hope to see you back here again next week.